Kia ora everybody, we're back after a little bit of a break. We are adding the styles to our Barfoot and Thompson website. It currently looks like this, and we want it to look like this. Alright, with some lovely paddings and spacing and having everything contained. You'll see that it's been such a big break that I've actually added 2 whole new articles in here, but we'll ignore those changes for now. I have recorded this video a few times, and I've made the decision that I'm going to explain how I managed to come up with the styles that I'm going to show you, and then I'm just going to show you. I wanted to authentically go through and pick them apart, but the video just ended up too long. So this is the shortened, condensed version. What I did is I went through and I used the inspect tool. And I came through, I used this little button here, which you should absolutely get very, very familiar with. You can't see my mouse right now, it's popping in and out, but if you hover over an element, it will show you where that element starts and finishes. It will show you the padding in yellow, it'll show you margin in purple, it will show you the name, the type. You see it's got H2 up there, right? It will show you the size in pixels. Right, it will, and if you go through and you start looking down here in the HTML, you can see that this image is contained within an anchor tag, is contained within a div, is contained within a div, and even better than that, if you click on an element, you can see all of the styles. So mostly what I have done before now is I have gone through each of these elements and I've just copy pasted the styles from there. I wanted to go through with you and pick the styles and put them in and find the styles and put them in. That just doesn't work that well on camera. So you may do that to try to see if you can copy this, or if you're copying a different website, go ahead and learn that skill. It's a very, very valuable skill. I've made a few changes. One of them is I started using a Flexbox, or I believe, and they didn't have that. They've also wrapped these in divs and divs and divs and divs, what we call divitis, and I've chosen to unwrap a few of those so it's not so contained. I suspect this website has been put together by another tool and was not written in raw HTML and CSS, but for our purposes, that's something that we can do. Okay, let's dig into it. I'm going to give you my pure CSS that I found, that I have written, and we'll see what effect it has on there. So we shouldn't need to refer back to this website, but we'll just leave it here. Here's our clone. As you can see, this needs to be structured a little bit better. We've got our footer in there, which already has the CSS already. We've got our nav bar, which has the CSS already. We're just doing the CSS of the latest news and updates section. Let's dig into it. Here we go. My server is up. My files are here. The only place we need to work today is in styles.css, so that can hide as well. And here we go. We're under the latest section, and we're adding in the styles by inspecting the Barfoot website. Okay, first thing, let's pick our latest news section. Remember, with CSS, the selector goes first, then a pair of brackets, and then it's property value, property value, property value. Our font family is, on the website, it's slightly different. It's Vexia or something. This is a paid font. So I have gone through and I have found Poppins. And if you don't have Poppins, just get any generic sans serif font. Cool. I added a margin on the top of 90 pixels. And I added a margin on the bottom of 90 pixels as well. Cool. And that's it for the generic section. Cool. Inside latest news, where is latest news? We've just styled this box. Inside it is the div container, so the thing that contains all of our H2 and our cards and everything like that. Remember, the container is there so that it can sit in the middle. The latest news section is the whole box, the size of the window screen, and then the latest news sits inside that so that it can be centered. And we're going to, so we're going to select latest news, and we're now going to add in just a different little selector here. That means select the element with the .container class that's inside the latest news element. Why are you complaining? No, it's empty. It won't be empty for long, VS Code. Okay. We're going to give it a max width of 180 pixels. Why that size? I stole it from the website. We're going to center it with a margin of 0 auto. What does that mean? That means no margin on the top and the bottom, and automatically put a margin that centers the element on the left and the right sides. Give me a little bit of padding too, of nothing and 24 pixels. Pix is a weird unit to use, but that was the unit they were using, so it is the unit that I am using. Right. Let's write that. Let's come back over. Let's refresh. Ooh. Are we looking terribly different right now? Not really. I think the reason for that is each of these inner elements is still taking up a lot of space. Okay. Okay, let's keep moving. No, it's because I've spelt container wrong. That's what it is. Container. Write it again. Refresh it again. Oh, there we go. There's my padding. I was at least we should see the padding, right? Okay. Everything is just inside that, and we've got some padding on our outer element now. Brilliant. Let's keep going. What's next? We're going to style the heading. So let's select our latest news, and inside that, that's latest news H2. This is any H2 which is found inside the latest news element. Let's get a margin of nothing on the top. Nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom, and then 42 pixels left and right. Let's get a font weight of 700. A font size of 34 pixels. Again, pixels is such a weird unit to use here. Normally they use rem or even m sometimes, but pixels is, it's different. We will persist though. We're going to give a line height of 1.25, which is 125%, so just slightly more breathing room than the default. Very, very common to see that CSS. And a color of 232323. A lovely gray, dark gray. Look at that. How are we going? Refresh that. We're expecting the latest news and updates to update. There we go, a little bit bigger. Should be a little bit gray as well, and with a little bit more spacing. Nice. Ooh, when are we going to get onto these inner elements? Let's keep going. Okay, I think this is the magic. Let's select our cards element. And we're going to say display grid. Oh, that's going to be the big one. Okay, how are we actually going to lay those grids out? With grid template columns, if you've used grid before, this will sound familiar to you. And we're going to repeat 4 times 1 FR, 1 fraction with a gap of 30 pixels. That's like the amount in between each of those cards is going to be 30 pixels. Whoa. And this whole thing is going to have a max width as well. That's if you extend the window too far. If you're on a really wide screen, things don't start drifting all the way. No, I want this to be pretty contained. It can have a little distance, but I don't want it to come in so that the elements are closer than 30 pixels, and I don't want the whole thing to spread out too far. Give me some padding on the right side of 15. Could have done this with just padding, but we're going to do padding right, padding left. This helps you not overwrite any other padding as well if you just do it that way. Margin right, auto, and margin left of auto. That's getting it centered as well. Oh my gosh, let's see those cards turn up. It's still not going to be 100%, but it's going to look better. There we go. Now they're laid out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Actually laid out in a grid now. But, oh, the sizing is not good, is it? Sizing is not good at all. And look at that. Look at our nav bar. Oh, things are still not great. Great, let's keep going. Inside each of those cards, we are styling the images inside the card. So now we're styling the image inside the card. So select all the cards, select any element with the class card, select any image element inside that. Width of 100%. Please don't be wider than the element that you're inside. Right, there we go. A couple of different properties to change. Sorry, I went a little quiet there on explaining what each of these are doing. This is just going to help our images stay contained within each of those cards. So let's write that, refresh, look at this. Now those images have that set size. They're all the same size. I should add, it is actually bad practice to do it this way. Unless you're reusing these images, you should have resized your images before uploading them. You don't make the user download an image at a higher resolution than what you're displaying it on your website. So that's something Barfoot hasn't done, particularly with this massive image here, but they do use that somewhere else in their website. So potentially the user has already downloaded it and it's cached in the browser. Here, if this was the only place this image existed, they should have resized it down to this size before requiring the user to download it. That wastes the user's data, you know? All right, on we go. Next up is the small heading inside the card. Let's take a look. It's this part. That is not what we want that to look like. Let's fix it. Okay, first select it. It's inside the card and it is an H5. And so we have a margin of nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom, and 14 pixels left and right. And again, this I've just nicked from the Barfoot and Thompson website. The font size is going to be 18 pixels. Again, a little bit of more breathing room on that line height. 1.35 this time. And the color is going to still be that lovely dark gray. Oh, 232323. That one. Cool. That should be that done. Let's actually carry straight on and do the actual text in there as well. The paragraph tag that has very, very similar styling. We've got that a margin. We've got a color. This one's a slightly lighter gray at 353535. We have a slightly bigger line height. We're increasing the font weight to 400, and we are increasing the font size a little bit, 18 pixels. Cool, that's that done. Let's see what changes those two made. Here we go. We're expecting that to change and these to change. There we go. We've still got that underline though, so let's fix that now. And we're going to fix that by changing the styling of the anchor tag. Remember, all of the card, the entire card is inside an anchor tag. As you can see, my hand, the cursor is a hand the whole way through. I can click on the image, I can click on that heading, I can click on any part of that. That's really good practice to do it that way. So the anchor tag inside there is going to have a text decoration of none. That will remove that underline from all of the other elements inside there as well. Inherit the text decoration. So by removing it from the anchor tag, you remove it from the others as well. We're going to use the inherit property there for the color, and we're going to display block that thing. Great. Done on that one. Should be some slight changes here. There we go. But see that? Now that's meant to present as a link to our user, and it's not right now. And that's not presenting as a link. We need to add the blue back. So that's a label, and we're going to display that as an inline block. We're going to put the font weight a little bit bigger here at 500. We're going to ramp up the font size. Ramp it up? Maybe not. Maybe let's just set it 18 pixels in case something overrode it later. Slightly less line height there. Okay, here we go. We're changing the color, and the color is going to be 1780FO. What a lovely blue color. Again, that I've just nicked that straight from the Barfoot and Thompson website. We're also going to change my cursor. That's a bit of fun, changing the cursor around. You can make that anything you want. It's wonderful. Okay, last thing. Oh, before we do that, hang on. Let's see what those changes did, and let's explain the problem of the next step. Great, there we go. I want to be able to communicate to the user that when they're hovering over it and it's ready to be clicked, that it works as a link, and actually something about this changes to indicate, hey, you're hovering over this link right now, you can click. We're going to do that with the hover attribute. Attribute, pseudoclass, attribute. Cool. Now we can change the styling of the label element when a user is hovered over it. And for us, that is text decoration underline. There we go. That little change just gives us that little tiny little visual clue that this is a link you can click on. Really, really good practice. And look at this. This is looking good. All right. So here we go. Here we go. That's our version. This is their version. Let's get out of inspect mode. What do you think? It's looking pretty good. I think our font is perhaps a little bit thick, a little bit bigger and darker than theirs are, but the rest looks pretty spot on, if I do say so myself. Okay, there we go. That is cloning Barfoot and Thompson website. Cool. We've done lots and lots and lots here. We have we've coded up the skeleton of it. We've put on the CSS for this. We've put in we've got all the data out. We've gotten Flask hooked up. We've got multiple pages going. This was a really big project. The main thing I want you to take away from this is that you can use existing websites, look at them, copy their structure, copy their styling, and then change out your content and modify it slightly to fit your purposes. You don't need to start from scratch. You don't need to invent the wheel every time. You can look at things that are already out there, what best practice looks like, and then change that and use it to suit your purposes. Hopefully, you've learned some of those skills now, particularly using inspect, copying the styles, copying the structure that way, and having a little bit of an understanding about how these sorts of commercial websites are structured under the hood as well, in terms of the server, the database, how those things communicate with each other. All right, that's enough from me. Ka kite.